Welcome to Horror and Hooch. I am Jade Astro from the Fifth Wall. I am joined today with Kay Bly for the Fifth Wall as well as Desiree from Tempered Drink. So tonight our topic is going to be the discussion of POC witches.
Yeah.
Just what you see on TV, see those in real life. But before we dive into that, Desiree, our drink tonight is called the Stargaze Cocktail. Could you please give us the ingredients and how we can make this beautiful cocktail so we can get started, girl?
Hello, everybody. I am back to do my job, which is to get y'all a little tipsy tonight. And we are going to
Okay.
have the
And
Stargazer.
it work every time.
All right, so first of all, let me apologize, you guys. I'm under the weather. I will not be drinking with you guys tonight. But listen closely, I got you. So for this drink, you're gonna need Chardonnay, which your favorite brand is fine. I generally use Cupcake brand, but you can get Sutter Homes, Gallo, whatever you buy at the store. You're gonna need dark rum.
Mhm.
Myers is the brand I purchased. There's a ton of dark rums in the store. Myers is a pretty good brand. You also need vanilla syrup. So this one I actually have right next to me. I didn't bust out the liquor bottles, but the vanilla syrup I want to show you guys because
Yes, that's the one
I
I
know
got.
people were struggling. They was like, vanilla syrup, what? This is like a
I
coffee
had to
syrup. You
Google
can
it.
find it. Right, you can find it on the coffee aisle.
Hmm.
I love this brand, Tarani, if y'all can see that. They've got a bunch of flavors. So this is the kind of vanilla syrup I use. Or you could be fancy and make it yourself. It's just a simple syrup with throw a vanilla bean in there, but anybody got time for that. And then the final ingredient is pineapple juice. Very simple drink to make. You're gonna start with ice in your shaker. Pour all your ingredients in there. Your Chardonnay, your rum, which is gonna be 2 ounces of Chardonnay, 1 ounce of rum, half an ounce of your vanilla syrup, and 1 ounce of your pineapple juice. Shake it up. Y'all know I like to tell you shake it till it's cold. Strain it in your glass, and then you need a lime wedge for a garnish if you want to be cute. Ladies, I know you guys made this drink, so how are y'all enjoying it?
In my little glass here.
I was about to say I pregame.
What a surprise.
The free game.
Girl. You
Look,
know I had to try it because it's one of my
what
favorite
a
like
surprise.
anyway. Like it's great. Very great.
So I
I
am
enjoy it.
dropping this recipe in the comments right now since I didn't make it for you visually. I want y'all to be able to see it.
Yes, please. This is how
Right. Thank
mines
you,
look
Desiree.
here. And you know, I approve of this as I do all of them. This is going to be one for me to sip off the whole weekend.
Mhm.
It's like it's got all these flavors in it, but the wine still hit at the end, you know?
Mhm.
It's a little sweet.
Yeah, like a little, for people who like to drink Moscato, that like,
Oh
Mm.
yeah. I do have a question though. So, Desiree, what if you would change the wine to Prosecco? Is that okay? Like if you wanted a little
Yeah,
more
Prosecco's,
alcohol?
I mean, it's just a white wine. Chardonnay is just a nice sweeter, but the Prosecco's good too. It's a little drier. But the pineapple juice
Okay.
will give you a sweet hint regardless.
Okay.
Mm.
You know, Desiree be trying to teach me a little something. I've been stuck on that Prosecco ever since we had one drink from what last year, honestly.
Oh yeah, what was that? Gotta go
I
back in my
can't
archive. I don't even remember.
Oh
I can't
man.
remember. I just know like ever since that drink, like that has been my go-to when I go for wine. Like straight
The
up.
Prosecco.
Let me get that Prosecco. Yes. So I normally do like a deep red, like the real sweet, like
Mm-hmm.
muscadine wine. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
that kind of like the opposite end, but still has the bubblies in it. So I really like it.
But yes, this is a nice little sip to for us wine drinkers.
Yeah, it's
um
something good to sip on to get started with these, real
yes.
whiskey.
So, um it's we read an article the other day. It was posted to our Horror and Hooch page talking about the presence of uh persons of color witches on screen. And I do think that their presence is increasing because me growing up, the only one I can remember seeing was Rochelle from The Craft. But now we like, we've had American Horror Story with Angela Bassett and Gabby Sidibe. We've had, we've got the new Charmed, um,
Yep.
I've yet to
Sabrina.
watch it.
Yeah. What else? Oh, and like Siempre Bruja, always a witch. So we have like a lot of a vast array now of that. And the thing is, which Prudence and from Sabrina and Macy from Charmed kind of stand different from what most people see as the traditional black witch or witch of color, because their form of witchcraft or whatever is, you know, like from the occult, or what most people, when they think of witches or white witches, they, the witchcraft and the black magic and the sorcery. And when it's a black person, they're doing voodoo, they're doing Santeria, they're doing um it's another one, I can't think of the name of it right now, but like those are the ones that we get identified with being. And it's not always, I mean I get it because a lot of it comes from our culture, but a lot of it also does get kind of like misconstrued, because like the Yoruba tradition is just, that's their spiritual belief. It's not necessarily them doing black magic.
Right.
And that's kind of where things get like muddled at, because every time somebody thinks of like a black witch, you got to be doing, voodoo. Or if they believe in this religion, they got to be, they automatically get categorized within like, oh, now they're a witch. Um, and it's funny, and these things are like, they're leaking out kind of like everywhere in media outlets. I don't know if you guys watch Love and Hip Hop Miami. I can't think of the one girl's name, but she did an interview,
Talking about
and
the Afro Latina.
but this is the one she blamed it on. It was another girl who said Amara La Negra, who is the Afro Latino. She said that Amara La Negra practices Santeria and put roots on her. Like this girl in particular, I think she's Hispanic too. She's Mexican, and she believed so strongly that Amara put roots on her that she literally went back to Mexico and found like a shaman to get it removed. But
Ooh, well,
Amara denies all claims.
I'll say
Uh,
this. I am actually located in Tampa, Florida. Um, it is part of the culture around here that a lot of individuals do practice. Um, but some individuals that I do know personally have informed me that it's just like with any other, and they would say it straight up like religion, that when you do evil towards someone, it comes back to you tenfold.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of people, when you were talking about how the waters are getting muddy, it's because
Hmm.
it wasn't made to cast curses on anyone. It
Yeah.
kind
right.
of like people done their own modifications to that. It's honestly to pay homage and to acknowledge ancestors and to honor saints that have helped guided along the way. That's what
Hmm.
it's really supposed to be about. But just like how you have light, you have dark as well. So I hope the girl didn't do no, cursing on her, because at the end of the day, that stuff comes back to you, point blank.
Laws of the universe.
And also it happened at what show was that? Basketball Wives. this last season. Yeah.
Girl, you be on that. I haven't watched it so long.
Girl.
I haven't either. I
This
ain't kept up.
last season of Basketball Wives, y'all, was a trip. This was some crazy stuff. But anyway, Evelyn Lozado, she went to see a shaman because she
Still on
said that
there?
Oh, she sure
when
did.
she said Tammy Roman put roots on her. She said Tammy Roman was using voodoo and put roots on her, and she had to go see a shaman and take it off. Now, personally, Evan Lozado has a lot of bad karma in her life, her own self. Don't nobody
I was
need to
about
put
to say
nothing on
something
her.
she probably created her own poltergeist.
Exactly. She
That's the poster guy.
she recreating her own little
Poltergeist. You
windstorm
heard me,
and kind
girl.
of conveniently tossed it over to made it seem like it was Tammy. And of course, Tammy ain't got nothing to do with that.
How she
Like
know it ain't her allowing Ocho Cinco back in her life? Ain't that the one that was with him and got
she
head
sure
butted?
do and still talk to him.
Let him right
Y'all
back
know
up
what?
in there.
We're not gonna talk about Ocho because that story is still real cloudy for me.
Man,
Real cloudy.
I think
And she
she did something. Like it's not right to put hands, regardless if you are male or female. Abuse is abuse. Don't touch nobody if you don't want to get touched.
Right.
I just say that that's
agree.
how I was raised as
Yep.
being the only girl in the household, but my
Mhm.
brothers were given the same message.
Yep.
Don't touch unless you want to be touched. Now, if somebody put their hands on you, then go ahead,
That's
protect
not.
yourself. It don't matter if it's a male or a female, because there's females out here that can knock a man out.
And see, I think that's why she got mad at Tammy, or like one of the reasons, because her and Tammy always been at it, but one of the reasons was that Tammy thought that story was a little muddled too, and she was like, she's like, I don't believe in domestic violence. Tammy Roman herself was a victim of domestic violence,
There
but
was.
like you said, Evelyn is back, cool with him, where she can pick up the phone and call him and text him and all this kind of stuff. Mm.
It's love,
Okay,
y'all. It's love.
But blame Tammy for putting roots on her.
what if they're just claiming these things because that'll be like a hot topic to like have people to talk about the fact that oh so and so might have roots on somebody. Just like I think people have to be careful on what they put out in media and social media because isn't that Fat Joe that has a song with Cardi B recent? Is that who that
Mm-hmm.
is?
Yeah.
Okay. If you go back and watch that video, they are preparing to do a ritual, a ceremony.
Mm.
I can't say which religion it is. It looks like Santeria, but they are
Well,
all in one. Huh?
that's what that one girl also said. I cannot think of her name. I might have to Google it because she was on Breakfast Club. But she also said, like, in addition to Amara La Negra, she said that she knows because I think she was like a stylist at one point
Yeah.
for celebrities before she got on Love and Hip Hop,
Somebody
and she said it's a lot of celebrities that low key practice Santeria and do sacrifices and stuff like that. Like, she didn't name no names, but she said she's seen this before.
I
yeah,
mean,
they
it's
put it
getting really popular in the mainstream anyway, because, like, I know y'all remember Beyonce and Lemonade. Their whole imagery was um a deity, and you didn't even. A lot of people didn't even know what it was. Y'all was just like, "Oh, yes, Beyonce serving," but y'all didn't know where it was coming from, and it is a Yoruban deity, and so it's a lot of stuff getting mainstream now. I know there's this song out by what's this artist's name? Y'all forgive me because I know I usually be remembering stuff. But she talks about being a witch, and she actually has a line in her song that says all these white witches got their stuff from us, referring to African American cultures and witchcraft and stuff like this. I gotta look that up for y'all. I'm gonna post that in the Horror and Hooch group later because I
Yeah,
found
I
it
need to see
while
that.
researching.
But
Um,
yeah, I need
but
to
it's
see it.
getting
I gotta
really
get.
mainstream.
Huh.
yeah, I
Huh.
agree.
That's
Like
interesting.
the thing is with Fat Joe's song is like how you were talking about with Beyonce and the imagery. Oh, I can't even get it out with her depicting certain things in the
Hmm.
religion. Um, Fat Joe actually has the chanting in the background. Like if you listen, that like what you're hearing being repeated is actually part of the ritual.
Mm.
I have to go back and
Yeah.
look for this girl.
So
Well,
it's the
should I be
most
looking
recent
for it?
song that came out, and the thing is that it was controversy because people from the religion actually were upset and disappointed because you're
Mm-hmm.
talking about, and forgive me, I'm about to be explicit. I normally don't be cussing up on here, but bitches shaking their ass while showing them doing a like cleansing and something
Oh,
sacred
got you, got you.
to be
And
showing.
yeah, and that's probably extremely disrespectful to them
Yes. Like that's how he opened up the song. And you
because
got
some
this
people.
man chatting in the background.
Mm-hmm. Um, what's her name? Maxine. Y'all remember from
Living single.
Living Single? She was Erica Alexander. She was on Breakfast Club and did an interview not too long ago. I think it was last year. And she was like talking about the background of her family, and then they got to talking about her like her parents, and she told this story about her dad, her maternal grandmother um was a witch. Like she did voodoo, and they said like a pastor or reverend like warned her to stop, that it was going to that this was going to kill her because the form that she was practicing was very dangerous, was very vindictive, and they told her to stop. And she was literally like abandoning her son, which was Erica Alexander's dad. Like she was just, so wrapped up in this that she
Called it a
literally was
song.
like driving herself crazy. And it eventually did. Like she would leave and go like down south into New Orleans to like, find all of this stuff out and research more. And the next time they, heard about her, and saw her, she did pass away. So people really got to be
Conscious.
careful and conscious about what they're doing. And one interesting kind of tidbit in history, I know everybody heard of like the Salem witch trials.
Yeah.
That,
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure we all had to like read that in school, and there's been lots of different shows and movies and stuff made about it. But I'm not sure if they've outlined that the person who kind of kicked off those trials was a person of color. I think either she was like African or Native American. She was a person of color, and that was the first person that they accused of using witchcraft.
When they went to
And
her for healings.
and see, that's the thing. That's the thing. People a lot of times mistake what people are doing as part of their spirituality and their religion because they don't understand it. They would label it as witchcraft because that's
Right.
exactly what she was doing. She was a healer. She was trying to, help people. She wasn't doing black magic, but when people, especially when you're of another culture like she was, and you're doing things that people don't understand, automatically it's black magic. And then you
Yeah.
like mass hysteria and stuff like that. Like people can't even, and I applaud, the African Americans who were still able to hold on to pieces of their culture because through slavery it got wiped out.
Okay.
And for the ones that do hold on to it, people think that what they do is not Christian like. It's of the devil. It's worshiping the wrong things. But you got to realize these people held on to their religion when everybody else when it got stripped away. Some
Right.
people found a way to hold on to it, and it was never anything evil. It was never anything negative. It was never anything bad. It just got perceived that way because people, of course, they wanted us to be turned over to Christianity. So they wiped out everything else. So now when people go back and look at things that were probably naturally a part of our own culture anyway, there's just this whole stigma. involved. And I think like Desiree, you had some like more information about, how people, the truth is coming to the light.
Yeah, I actually, so when we got talking about the witches of color, I actually start looking into it a little bit more because, like you said, you see us on the shows, it's usually voodoo, very dark,
Hmm.
very negative. But people forget there's so many different branches of what we can or what people perceive as
Hmm.
witchcraft. Like you, of course, you have your voodoo, your voodoo, but people forget
Hmm.
things like your healers, from the islands, from Africa. In Native American history, your healers
Hmm.
were considered witches. Your high priests and priestesses are considered witches. Anyone who had healing properties in a cultural setting were considered witches, and so that's a more positive light that they shine on that. But I
Hmm.
have learned that right now, Black millennials are leaving Christianity and are drawn to Yoruba and some of the other African um, witchcraft, religious practices, and traditions. And it's getting, like you guys said earlier, really, really muddy. Um, and you got some people who they're following strict with the Yoruba guidelines, which is the reverence of ancestors, the healing, and things like that. And then you've got those who are doing what the sects are calling the new age shit, and they don't even realize they're doing it. Like one of the articles I read, they were complaining about African American women like myself experimenting with crystals and burning sage because those are actual part of rituals and practices that they do within their culture and that religion of witchcraft that we're nitpicking from and kind of, in their opinion, um, for lack of a better word, appropriating.
Hmm.
Um, because we don't know the full extent of it. We just know, oh yeah, I'm gonna burn some sage to get rid of some bad spirits in my house or something like that. But for them, it's a totally different meaning.
and
Um,
and a lot of
and
people are
there's
scared to
actually,
approach it too because of that.
yeah, I mean, you don't want
They're
to learn
they're
it, you just
scared.
want to do it.
And some people like block it out and are scared of like, oh no, that doesn't seem Christian, like that seems devilish. But you have to think those are the things that we were taught to strip us of our spirituality from uh our original
Mm,
DNA, our original ancestry line, because sage grows from the earth.
right,
It's natural. Uh, Crystals, they're rocks that are found in the earth. None of these things are man made. Africans, Native Americans, spirituality came from nature and the
right.
things around them. And like I said, it got negative stereotypes because that was a way to detach us
From it. Yep.
from our beliefs. And now that, like you said, they're trying to go back to what we were. You still got that pushback from some who are either like, either y'all are not doing it right, and then you get the ones that
Hmm.
are like, oh no, that's not Christian like. So it's a whole lot of muddiness.
And there's actually now a convention, the annual Black Witch Convention. This is the fourth year they've held it here in 2019 in Baltimore. I had no idea about this beforehand, but they're giving seminars and things on protection, cleansing, pendulum magic, like all kinds of stuff. And it's actually founded, the group is founded by this lady who goes by the Occult Mama. Her name, I hope I'm not saying it too wrong, is Aya Omifula. Y'all forgive me. I ain't trying to disrespect her name. But she is a practicing priestess of Umoja, which is one of the water deities. And so she started this entire group to kind of give the newer African American women who are searching for that connection to that, a way to learn and be kind of guided by someone who is well versed in it. She actually has a bachelor's in metaphysical science. Um, so she started this whole group and she holds this convention every year in Baltimore. Like I said, it was the 4th year this year. And funny, it's right before Halloween, October 25th to the 27th. But it's getting a large following, and it's crazy to me because you don't hear about it every day. But that's because, like you said, Christianity, we shun it. We don't know a whole lot about it. We were taught that it was negative, and so we don't research it. But it's actually getting a really big following. And I was surprised to find that
How I feel about it, I come around with the whole conspiracy theory.
out.
I feel as though that they were very aware of what we were practicing, and they wanted to gain more understanding, and they were also afraid of it. So
Most
if you
definitely.
do look in the Bible, if you pay attention and decode certain things, they did show appreciation for the crystals and the stones, um burning offerings, um which could be sage, or how you might burn a bay leaf every now and then,
Mm,
with different oils, your frankincense, your things like that. Like, if you pay attention, they did mention those type of things. It's just it, they stripped us,
it's been
and I
altered.
they stripped us from so much that they didn't want us
Yes.
to understand the gifts and
Yes.
power that we have.
Yes.
And I'm gonna tie it into one thing that one of my best friends let me know, because she was speaking with a guy that was first generation, coming from, I can't remember what country in Africa, but he was letting her know, like, actually magic is part of a coursework that they take. They practice it just like how we practice. My field is applied behavior analysis, which is a science. So just like I
Okay.
practice behavior analysis, they're out there practicing different types of magic. And it's not looked upon as, oh my gosh, what are you doing? No,
Right.
they get it as whoever is able to manipulate the elements more, have more wisdom to
Mm-hmm.
spread out to the rest of the community. They also, she was talking about one gathering that they would do once a year to gain knowledge from one of the water deities. Is that because I'm not gonna say any names because I don't want to disrespect, because I don't know everything. That it would be one of the young males that were going through, like, going to their adulthood, if you get what I'm
The
saying.
little ritual.
Yeah, and they would
Mm-hmm.
have to go underwater, and while they were under the water, whatever spirit was there would give them the, like, wisdom that they would need to take to their tribe, and it would also let them know of, like, any type of danger or harm that might come their way, dealing with, like, say, natural disasters or things like that, and what to look for. So
So
to
you're
me,
right. They actually showed that in I don't know if you guys seen the remake of Roots, because I want to say maybe a year or two ago they
Mm,
like redid it and updated,
yeah.
and they had a part that showed in there when because they kind of expanded on his story while he was still in Africa, and they had that male ceremony, from becoming a boy to a man, and like you said, to kind of prepare them for like hardships in life. They did show that as a part of our African roots.
And also, like how we was talking about Santeria, one thing that they do whenever they are introduced into the community is that they actually are shown their death. Um, so, like, to me, and what I mean by that is, like, a ceremony is done, and in that ceremony, they, like, basically, how in our Christian religion we have prophets. So,
Hmm.
mm,
like, prophet will basically prophesize and let them know, like, this is how you're going to die. But we have this saint here to guide and protect you.
Hmm.
So I feel like, tie back what I was talking about with the conspiracy things, is just they saw that the gifts that we had and the power that we had, and they just
Hmm.
wanted to make, take it away, so we feel as though that, you know we don't have anything, we're nobody. When
And we
and
had
that
to leave everything we had and attach on to what they have.
Yes. And honestly, if like in the midst of it all, if you look at it, it's still our background, our religion that they took and they flipped it. Okay? They
Mhm.
flipped it. If you want to talk about those individuals that they're speaking of, and especially being, they might as well say in Africa, where's Egypt? Where's Egypt located? Okay?
in Africa, bro.
Thank you. So you telling me somebody over there, and I'm just jumping to another country, is named Mary, somebody over there named John. I mean, I can understand Josiah or something like that, but honestly, the letter J wasn't even invented at the time. So honestly, I feel like all of it derives from the motherland, and they just flip it on us and make it seem like it's something that came from them.
Of course.
They was
That
teaching us something too.
Yeah,
Yeah, like Charlemagne, I think he's the one who said it the best. I want to say it was him. He said
he did, girl.
he said the sickness. I know 'cause you know you got to pick and choose because some things he say be crazy and some things be on point. He
I love
said they
them.
gave us the sickness, which was oppression and trauma and abuse, and then gave us the cure, which was Christianity. So beat you, break you down, and then give you this thing to lift your spirits back up to be comfortable where you are. And that's what people have to hold on to, and for generations, because like we lost all of that and who we were and who we are, and it's it's sad that it's hard for some of us to embrace what was naturally a part of us once upon a time, that it's now like shunned or feared. So I do applaud those of us who are trying to get back to the root of our spirituality.
And
That was the thing that kept
researching.
us together, and it was nature. It was all nature. Everything was natural healing, just like Native Americans living off of the land. Everything was natural healing, holistic this, and people are trying to bring that into the light now.
Right.
To do to get back to that, but that was our culture all along. Like it's really not nothing new.
Well, well, I'm gonna say this: with people trying to get back to what something that we've lost, you have to make sure we're not being naive either. So, I want to share a story about someone who wanted to dig deeper into spirituality and wanted to use it for their gain, personal gain. Um, Individual contacted a witch to gain financial um positives in their lives, love in their life, stability in their life. So whenever they went to this individual and they asked for their blessings, the witch asked for her money when she got done doing what she had to do. But in return, the young lady felt as though that was not that amount was too much. So she paid her what she wanted to pay her. The witch let her know, like, I've done my work. I need to be paid. So the young lady was receiving more money in her life. Her love life was going well. But then all of a sudden things started going sour. She lost her job. Her boyfriend broke up with her. She's starting to see weird things now. Like she found a snake in her toilet, spiders in her car.
The
So
real
she thought
people.
like something weird is going on. I feel like this woman has cursed me. And that's exactly what happened. The witch turned her blessings into curses. And the reason why I was bringing up you have to be careful is because everything has a cost in life. And you just like how you do your research on what foods you put in your body, you need to do research on who you asking to do work for you. Because you don't know who you dealing with. and what they really asking for. Yeah, the woman was asking for money, but honestly, in the end, since she didn't give the woman the money, she took more things from her that she can never get back. So I feel like with us, especially these our generation, millennials, we're trying to gain back things that we've lost. We still need to be careful in the midst of it because just everything has a good side and a bad side.
You're right. Because I had one of my sorors I said this years ago when I was still at Savannah State. Um, every you can't let everybody pray for you.
Lord, no, you can't.
Because you
Yeah,
don't, and
they
that's with
praying
any
too.
religion. You can't have it because there's plenty of overly zealous Christians and fake Christians that you just can't have any, because you don't know what them praying for you consists of. Like Mitra said, you might be thinking you getting one thing and they got a whole other separate agenda
Because
anyway.
who they praying to?
You just don't
Exactly
know.
who are they praying to exactly?
And what they're praying for. Like,
Hmm.
K Bly, honestly, it was a book that you were telling me about. I don't know if it's called The Alchemist, if I'm not mistaken, where the young man was going along his journey and he was gaining
Hmm.
wisdom way, and he ran into one guy that was letting him know, like, just like what I said, in life
Hmm.
nothing is free.
Hmm.
So if
Hmm.
someone comes up to you and say, hey, let me read your tarot cards, and you thinking it's for free, no, ma'am, and no, sir. I'm gonna go ahead and let you know now. I don't practice, but this is just common sense. You didn't exchange energy with them. They took something from you. You did
Hmm.
not come out of that not paying anything. First of all, you invested your time. By you focusing in on what they were doing, you also invested energy, honey. So, you did not come up out it for free. Be careful.
That is,
These streets.
and I think this was in The Alchemist, the law of equivalent exchange.
Yes,
You will,
Lord.
There you go.
you get nothing for free.
Exchange of energy, exchange of everything in the universe. It's gotta stay balanced. It's gotta stay balanced.
In order
Mhm.
to keep the balance, and that's what I think the aim is for most people, is just trying to stay balanced. And like Mitra said, do your research. Get information from people who will help to guide you without having a separate agenda, because there is nothing wrong with wanting to understand who you are and what your ancestors did and what they believed and who you were before everything was stripped away. But you got to be know who you getting this information from to guide you. You also have to be careful of, like she
Not
said, these.
Wikipedia.
Yeah, no, we don't do that. Anybody put anything up there. Like she said, these celebrities and these videos that uh have underlying symbolism. And like you said, kids want to be singing these songs, they want to be wearing
Yes.
these certain type of garments, they want to think that this is cool to throw up, to draw, to say, to wear. And you don't know what you conjuring up, because you don't know what they're doing. You don't know who
A
they're
prime
emulating.
example, I'm gonna go ahead and throw this out there. I love this couple. I am part of the beehive, honey. I be buzzing. You hear me?
Oh Lord.
But I'm gonna talk about her counterpart, Jay-Z. He loves to quote that man from them witch. What's the thing from the occult? What's that man name? Warhol or whatever his name is. Um,
Uh, Not Andy Warhol.
who the man that wear the pyramid on his head? And he be talking about do it as I will.
I know
Drawing
he's,
a blank.
but I don't think I ever knew the name though.
I might be messing up the name. It might not even be. I don't even. I just know the statement that Jay
Mhm.
Z says all the time. Like, do it as I will. That right there is part of the occult, like the actual like statement that they say. Hold on.
But folks been hollering he Illuminati for years and years and years.
Oh
And
well,
I don't think that Illuminati is what
I don't think
I
he's part of
think.
Illuminati, but he in
Yeah,
something.
I think people that are trying to put together, they've created this Illuminati because they know that it's something there and they can't put their finger on it. Like they know that they're doing something and there's something going on, so they're just like, oh, it must be Illuminati. Let's put it in that category.
Right, right.
But no,
Anybody
I
got
think
some
what
success overnight? That's the Illuminati.
exactly
Can
they want to
somebody
blame it
jump
on
on
something.
a somebody do me a favor, cause I'm on my phone right now. Can one of y'all jump on the lab and look that up for me, cause that's bothering me.
I
What
looked
now?
up
What?
the phrase, but I ain't find nothing.
You didn't?
Mm-mm.
Hold on, you said
But I
God.
mean, I wasn't doing no deep search either. I don't.
And I might. I just know as thy will is part of it. Like basically saying, do what you want to do. You
Oh,
can do
hold
what you
on.
want to do.
That popped up real fast. Oh
I don't know.
wait, no, that was that's Silent Hill. That's a whole.
Oh well. It's just because like I'll just leave that alone. It's just bothering me because I like to make sure I try to give out all the information. But it's just like we were talking about. Just be careful. Like just because they're making millions of dollars and it seems like their
Hmm.
life is grand, you don't know who they're serving, what they're doing, and what they're praying for. You know.
You don't, and
Um.
be out, and yeah, and folks just be out here all types of emulating all kind of stuff.
That fan worship, girl. That fan worship.
Yes. What about the new trends that's going on now? You know how we were talking about with sage and crystals and the stones, like how, there's certain groups where now they're using the stones for like, Kegel exercises, but also for ritual practices. Um, and before they're, using the stones for those purposes, they're using the sage to cleanse the stones, but I
Mhm.
am half Native American. Sage is not just used for cleansing, okay? Sage can actually be straight up real. Sage can actually open up portals. And if you are not aware of what you are doing and you think you are cleansing, you are probably inviting. And what kind of makes my skin crawl is that if you're ignorant to what you're doing, just imagine the fact that you're supposed to be cleansing this stone that you're about to now insert into your womanly cavity.
Which is the source of your power, so to say.
Thank you, Desiree. That's what I was trying to like leave it on. Like that is your source, that sacred chakra.
Oh,
Um,
Sharice said his name was Crawley. That's the guy.
Aleister Crowley.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Cherie.
sis.
Yeah, Aleister Crowley. I was about to say that.
I,
Thank you,
I'm
sis.
just calling it an artist name to my Warhol.
And we all here
Yeah,
looking
you
it
was
up.
talking
We
about.
like,
I was like,
can't
not
even
Andy
find
Warhol.
That's what I thought about afterwards. Like, no, Mitra, no, Mitra, no.
Thank you. Yes, and she also, um, and I've seen a lot of people. They have the conspiracy theories about these the missing girls and missing black people and the children and
Just
stuff like that.
ritualistic cult things, girl.
Yes, and I'm so glad Ricky Smiley even talked about it on his show, because we know that a lot of people are like they're sex trafficked, they're trafficked for drugs, and believe it or not, slavery. But what people aren't saying as much is that some
The
of these
black
people
market.
are being trafficked for organ harvesting.
Yes, that's
Yes.
it.
Yeah,
Or
because
for their ritualistic practices. They're
that
not
too.
gonna sacrifice their own.
There was a Law and Order episode years ago where this white guy, him and his wife had like two black children, and I think
See?
like the wife went away, and
I
when she
remember
came
that.
back, she was like, where are the kids? And he's just like, that somebody took them, or they were killed, like they didn't know what was going on. And then some people were like, oh, this guy has been buying like Santeria artifacts,
See?
and come to find out that because Ice-T's character was all over this case, that the guy, when his wife left, he sacrificed the kids for that Santeria tradition. And of course, by him being, Anglo-Saxon, he didn't know nothing about this religion at all.
You
And
don't sacrifice
that,
no children in that religion.
thank you, didn't know nothing
The most
about it.
might be a
And so
chicken.
they pretty much, instead of saying that, his wife probably thought that they were adopting those children, because she really didn't know. He really trafficked those kids, and in the back of his mind, to sacrifice them. So people, y'all need to believe, because Law and Order always been on it, and they had, this episode was old, that this happens, and there's been documentaries made about people who buy organs off the black market. A lot of
I
these
have
organs are
been
coming from.
saying,
Yep.
I have been saying for years, y'all, David Rockefeller has had 6 successful heart transplants. That man got
Yes.
a heart transplant at 99. Who gives good
And
hearts to a 99-year-old?
get
Who?
out. That's what it. Get out. You hear me?
Oh, hello. That's why Jordan Peele made that movie. He was trying to get y'all to wake up. He was trying to let y'all know this is a real thing happening. Do you guys remember that case in Georgia that happened? It had to be around 2012, 2013, about the boy that was
And
rolled
about
up
all
in the
the,
gym mat. And that he was rolled up in the gym mat,
yeah,
and when they found him dead, he was missing organs. And nobody had
they just
explained
did
that. They were
another
talking about,
autopsy
oh,
on him.
he suffocated. Okay. But first of all, how did he wrap himself up in the gym mat to suffocate? And what happened to his organs?
Kendrick Johnson, that was that boy's name.
And that was here. And be like, this has been going on for a while, but now people, especially with, social media being as, popular and widely used as it is, these stories are being exposed a lot more. So, y'all need to pay attention to what's kind of been low key happening. When they tell you
And
these
be
people are being snatched.
like, seriously, like, don't think just because you're grown, you 30 something years old. I mean, if you're taking care of yourself, you already know black don't crack. If you're taking care of yourself. So it don't matter if you 30 something, 40 something, 50 something, they will still come get you now.
Mhm.
That glass almost empty over there.
Just a little
What you say now?
tidbit.
Oh, you talking about her glass empty?
Uh-huh.
I got a tiny bit, less a little bit hanging on. A little bit hanging on. But thank you guys for joining us tonight. We kind of just wanted to you know, kind of expound on what's happening now, and and new trends, and what we're seeing on TV, and like it's some real life stuff going on out there, people. I know
Yes.
people kind of like want to overuse the term woke, but if you sleep at this point, you don't know what can happen to you these days.
You
Well,
sleep,
I
you might
hope
not wake up.
y'all better
y'all,
pay attention.
y'all better
Be
wake
careful
up.
of these potlucks, cause it might be an auction now. Be careful.
Exactly. Don't be eating people food that you don't trust. Don't be going to people's houses that you don't trust. Remember that one,
Don't
and
drink
this was
the Kool-Aid.
not too long ago, where that black lady went to that sleepover, and they were adults. She went to a sleepover with a
And,
bunch of white ladies, and she
and
ended
she
up
went
dead.
missing. Missing.
Yeah.
Sick, missing.
Yeah.
But it'll be your own people too now. Just like with
Hmm.
the girl up there in Clark, Atlanta, they suffocated that baby.
Yeah.
That's a
So
whole nother. Oh, don't get me
I
started.
I know
Don't,
that's a whole nother story, but I'm just saying we talking
girl.
about safety. Be careful of your surroundings. Like seriously, like God God instilled us all with discerning spirits. Okay? It's up to you if you pay attention to that gut feeling that you get. So that's really why I brought it up. Like we talking about touching back
Hmm.
into our roots and our ancestors and all those things. We are equipped with that. We feel
Hmm.
it when something is right. Please pay attention. You ain't tripping. That's your ancestors and your spirit talking to you. Please
Somebody
pay
Yes.
whispering
attention.
on your shoulder, baby.
Yes,
Listen
they talking
to
to you.
it.
That's what I'm just
Listen.
bringing it to. Like,
Yes, listen to what the Lord trying to tell you sometimes, and stop trying to be stubborn. Listen to what's being told to you, and like you said, trust your gut. He gave you it for a reason. Especially around these holidays, everybody wants
yes.
to be fun and be around family and stuff, but don't let your holiday turn into somebody else's new liver transplant.
Right.
So y'all be safe. Our next show will be our holiday Christmas special. That will be in December, and that episode will be our last episode for season 1, and we will come back in 2020 for Horror&Hooch season 2. We will be back and be bigger than ever. So you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving and be on the lookout for our Christmas episode and our season finale coming soon in December. Thank you guys for joining us. Fix this drink, this stargaze. It's wonderful. Like she said, trust your gut. It's okay to go back to your roots because it's not our fault. Our religion and spirituality was stripped of us. Don't let people detour you from doing what your heart feels and what your ancestors are calling you to do. Don't let anybody think that demonize you for wanting to take the natural lifestyle because God gave us everything on this earth that we will need. Everything that we ever needed is out in nature. And there
And
ain't
it's just
nothing wrong but seeking nature out to heal yourself and to heal others because that's what our ancestors did. Nothing wrong with that at all. Um, Thank you guys for joining us. And keep follow us on Facebook and Instagram, the Fifth Wall, the Fifth Column, Temper Drinks, and please join our Horror&Hooch Facebook group because we're still gonna be on that no matter what. We are
Right.
say just
definitely
'cause Halloween over with don't mean nothing. We still lit.
exactly at in Horror&Hooch. Halloween is year round.
All
We
We
year
don't
long.
stop just because October has passed. Halloween is year round. If you feel like that too, join Horror&Hooch. You won't regret it. We have a lot of fun in this group and it's growing daily. So, yes, catch us on all our social media platforms and we'll see you guys in December. Happy
bye.
Happy
Thanksgiving.
holidays.